So welcome to the city of York. You can see it just in the distance there, and I'm just having a little mooch around, going around all the attractions, and the bits you can see in York is just a very small sample because I've been here before, but I just wanted to have a little walk around just to see what else is here. And yeah, if you haven't been to York before, just show you exactly what you can expect. So yeah, check it out. The River Ouse flows through the heart of York, formed by the meeting of the River Ouse and the River Swale further north. It has been central to the city's history since Roman times, providing trade routes and transport links. During the Viking era in 9th to 10th centuries, Jorvik prospered as a major river port. Today the Ouse is best known for its scenic views, riverside pubs, and as a popular leisure spot for both visitors and locals. Flooding has also shaped the city's history as the Ouse frequently overflows in winter. So as I walk alongside the River Ouse, I think that's how you pronounce it, I got some nice little narrow boats there moored alongside, but there are some boats in the distance which I'll turn the camera around so you can check out now. So as you can see over there, they do have larger boats, and they're for basically city guides. They sort of go up and down the river itself, but you can actually hire out smaller boats which is maybe sort of along this side, which I'll show you in a moment, but there are more boats when you go over that bridge, and round the corner there is an area over there with plenty of boats as well. Now the boats range around about 35 to 45 pounds for an hour. Obviously that's just the hire of the boat itself, so if there's a few of you, obviously you can split the cost of that, so it's not too expensive. But yeah, there's plenty of people that go along here up and down for that hour and enjoy the day. It's great. I've been there myself. But yeah, they are, you can hire out the smaller boats, you can go on the city cruises around here, but you can also hire out kayaks and canoes and the likes. So when it comes to the smaller boats you can get in and drive yourself, as I say, they're about 35-45 pounds depending on the time of year, so I'll put the link in the description so you can check out the cost when you're coming here. But yeah, you just get to run along this riverway here, you go into that bridge. I think you can only go so far around the corner before you need to turn back around, but you do have a decent amount of space to zoom up in here for about an hour. But if you don't fancy driving the boat yourself, then you can get a river cruise. Now some of them have one floor, some have two floors. The ground floor I believe is undercover, not open, and then the top floor there's seating but it is open, so it depends what you fancy doing. But as I turn the camera around, you'll be able to see here, these are a little sort of cruise here. This only has one floor by the look of it. You people sat in the front having a little wave, but this is the city cruise boat that you can go on. So if you don't fancy driving the boat yourself, then you can hire one of these out, but there are a number of them there, so there are plenty to get on. And obviously when it's the hotter weather and the sun's out, there's more people doing it, but they tend to sort of go along here, and then yeah, they'll end up going under that bridge, having a little mooch around there and showing you all that. You'll see the train line which is just in front of me there on that bridge, and then it'll come back around, and it is, I've been on that myself, and it is great just to sit and relax rather than have to drive the boat yourself. But as you can see, there's a few people on there today. So that's City Cruises by Hornblow, but there are a number of companies that do these actual cruises themselves. But yeah, if you check the links in the description, it'll give you all of the businesses that do all of the city cruises, as well as I think there's a couple of companies that do the smaller boats, but obviously there are the boats you can see here are owned by obviously private people, so you can't hire anything like this out. They're just sort of moored up for the day or the night. And yeah, there's other boats that are coming through, bigger boats, but I don't think you can hire those ones out. I think it's just the smaller boats, which I will show you in a bit. I will walk around there and show you the boats that we hired out. They're very small boats, but it's a great laugh just to either whether you're going out with your partner or your family, and you can just have a little zoom around and have a bit of a good day with it, especially when the sun's out, which it's not today. Anyway, I'm going to head round here and show you a bit more. This where I'm at the moment is called Dame Judi Dench Walk, and it just goes along the side of the river here. There's a little dog. Hello, how are you? Are you okay? Are you well? You having a little mooch? You have a little mooch? Have a look around. Walk along Dame Judi Dench's walk. Who's that? Who's that barking? Anyway, get distracted by dogs. But yeah, some lovely boats here. Whoa, easy now, but you don't fall in the water. But yeah, there's quite a lot of narrow boats along here. Yeah, I'd love to go on a narrowboat holiday. Obviously you've seen the Norfolk Broads one that I've been on, and I went on one around London, Reading and the likes, Windsor area. That was amazing. I really enjoyed that as well. But yeah, the narrowboats, I'd like to go on a narrowboat and just take my time going around there. But obviously you've got the locks which take time getting through, whereas the holidays that I've been on, they didn't, especially the Norfolk Broads, didn't have any locks, so it's a lot quicker of a holiday. You can just moor up and moor off. But yeah, let's discover a bit more of York. So these are the York city walls. They were first built by the Romans in 71 AD when York was founded by the legionary fortress. The walls were rebuilt in stone during the 12th and 14th centuries and still encircle much of the city. Walking them today offers views of both medieval and modern York. So as I walk along these city walls, in the distance you can see a war memorial and the beautiful Grand Hotel over there. But behind me is where you'll find the train station, and behind the train station is where you'll find the Railway Museum at York. I've done videos on that, so check those out. It is an amazing thing for train enthusiasts. But as I walk past the noisy motorbikes and head towards the Minster, which is my next port of call, it's just great you can just see all the different architectures walk along here. There is another walkway that I've done before that's over near the Minster, and when you get on there you can see the Minster itself, but you can see all the buildings around it. It's showing its historical landmarks of York, and it's just fantastic to just explore and learn. So as I've just walked just along that little section of the city walls, it does go a lot longer round, but I've just come onto Lendal Bridge, which I've stood on now. You can still see the beautiful architecture, but I would recommend going here. This is called the Perky Peacock. You can sit outside, but obviously if it's a little bit cold you can go inside. It's a lovely little seating area inside that serves hot and cold food and cakes. But I'm just going to head on over this bridge. There's some more architecture over here, and obviously the Minster is not too far in the distance. You can be able to see it when we get around this corner, but that's the next port of call, is the Minster. In front of you is Lendal Tower, which dates from the 13th century. Every night a great iron chain stored in the tower was stretched across the River Ouse to Baker Tower on the opposite bank. The chain prevented boatmen from entering the city without paying tolls, and also protected the city in times of trouble or war. In the 17th century, Lendal Tower's role changed from defender to provider. Fresh water was piped throughout York from the tower, which became known as the Water House in 1631. The mechanisms from pumping the water were improved over time until a steam engine was installed that was capable of producing 18 horsepower, raising 18 gallons of water at a stroke, or 10,500 gallons in an hour. It tolled away in Lendal Tower from 1780s until 1836, after which it was moved to a purpose-built engine house. York Waterworks, who leased the tower from the council for a peppercorn rent, then used it as a store and offices until 2000. It is now a private residence. Now, people come from all over the world to see a certain thing, and I'm not talking about Fudge Kitchen. I'm actually talking like the biggest building and landmark in York, and that is, of course, the York Minster. It's a fantastic building, and I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you in all its beauty. Here it is. So this is the stunning York Minster. Construction began in 1220 and was completed in 1472. It's one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Europe, famous for its Great East Window, the largest expanse of medieval stained glass in the world, and that was completed in 1408. Earlier churches on the site date back to the 7th century, when York was an important centre of Christianity in Anglo-Saxon England. So when it comes to tourism and things to do in York, obviously the Minster is a massive one. You can go around there and check all that out. You can also go to Fudge Kitchen here and try out some free fudge, if you fancy that. Free, it's a fantastic price. But yeah, get yourself in there, it's a great place, fun people that work there. I've been in there many times, as you can probably tell. But yeah, the sort of draws are the Minster. Obviously you've got the Shambles, which is a big draw. People love to go around there. It's all the magical Harry Potter sort of style things there. Lovely architecture as well, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, you can do all sorts during the day and during the night. You've got sort of the ghost hunts and trails. You've got the stories of witches and all the history of the place. Obviously Guido Fawkes, or Guy Fawkes as you might know him, the whole gunpowder plot. He was born here in 1570, so there's another thing to bring you here and learn all about the history of him. Oh yeah, as you can see around me, there's just some great shops to go around. Fudge Kitchen. I'm not sponsored by Fudge Kitchen, by the way, I just like fudge. But yeah, there's some great shops, as you can probably see. I'll turn the camera on so you can see them. But yeah, when it comes to York, obviously there's plenty of ghost trails, and every pub that you can see around here, or you go to around here, always states it's the most haunted place in Yorkshire or in Europe or whatever. It's always the most haunted, isn't it? But you never see them. So this is the Shambles. It's a narrow, twisting medieval street with timber frame buildings, mainly dating between the 14th and 15th century. Originally home of the butcher's shops with meat hung outside and gutters to drain waste, today it is filled with cafes, shops and Harry Potter themed stores. Sam stood in the shortest street in York, and in 1505 this was called Whip-Ma-Whop-Ma-Gate, which means what a street. But check out the sign here, this is what it's actually called now. So from the shortest street in York, and now I am at Merchants Adventurers Hall, which is just over the road. Let's go and check that out, shall we? No. So this is the Merchant Adventurers Hall. This was built between 1357 and 1361 as a meeting place for York's wealthy merchant guild. It is one of the finest surviving medieval guild halls in Europe and is still used today for events and meetings. So I'm just stood around the side of the Merchant Adventurers Hall, as you can see right there. It's a beautiful building, don't you think? But obviously it just lifts it with these beautiful plants and flowers you can see dotted around the sides, and obviously they've got some barrels with flowers in it. Just adds colour to when you come around here, but obviously it doesn't take anything away from the beautiful building that you can see right here. So from Merchant Adventurers Hall I come to the next place where tourists come, and that is Clifford's Tower. Clifford's Tower, the stone keep of York Castle, built in the 13th century under Henry III. The original Motte and Bailey was ordered by William the Conqueror in 1068. It was the site of a tragic massacre of York's Jewish community in 1190 and later used as a royal stronghold and prison. This is York Castle Museum. It was opened in 1938. It's housed in the old 18th century prison buildings of York Castle. It features recreated historic streets such as Kirkgate, bringing different eras of daily life to life, from Victorian times to the 20th century. So as I leave the Castle Museum behind me and walk around Clifford's Tower, which is there, I'm heading towards a museum that I've been to before, and I recommend it if you're into the army sort of style and you just want to know about the history and the stories of the regiments. I'm going to show you it now, and then I'll tell you a little bit about it as we look at it. It's just round this corner. The museum explores the history of two famous Yorkshire regiments, the Royal Dragoon Guards and the Prince of Wales's own Regiment of Yorkshire. Its collections span over 300 years, from the 17th century to modern conflicts. Exhibitions include uniforms, medals, weapons, personal stories and interactive displays that bring to life the experiences of soldiers from Yorkshire serving around the world. The museum also holds an extensive archive for research into family and military history. So when it comes to other attractions in York, you've got the York Dungeons, but if you don't fancy that sort of terrifying experience, then there is the Jorvik Centre here, which you can get inside and experience what it was back in the day, and I'll tell you a little bit about that place in just a minute. The Yorvik Viking Centre was opened in 1984 after archaeologists uncovered remarkable Viking remains in Coppergate in the late 1970s. It recreates the streets of Viking York, which thrived in the 9th and 10th centuries, complete with sights, smells and artefacts from the excavation. So down there on the left hand side is where you get the small boats from. Obviously you might not be able to see it on the GoPro, but I'll venture down there. So we'll head on down, go past the King's Arms pub and along next to the river, and I'll show you the little boats that you can get. As we walk on down, these are the actual jetties, I believe they're called, for the larger cruise ships, for the Hornblower City cruises. You can either start and stop here, but there is a stop where we saw the actual boat over the other side of that bridge. You can sort of get on here or get on there and then just tell them where you want to get off at, and obviously the prices are, you can have a single trip or you can have a return to the actual place that you got on at. But you can see the smaller boats you can get on are just these little things here, which I'll show you in a second, and they range between 35 to 45 pounds for an hour depending on the time of year. So I'll just go around these people and show you. So these are the self-drive boats right here. I believe you can pay cash or card. I think when we came before we managed to be able to pay on a debit card with ease, but yeah, you get on the boat and it kind of gives you a brief sort of outlay of how to use it. you've got your safety equipment such as your life jacket and what to do in the event of an issue. But yeah, these are the lovely little boats you can get on. So as I say, when you get on them, you got two people can sit in the front, and you might be able to get 3 sat at the back, so you can get 5 of you. So when you like break it down, £35 or £45, it's not that much when you break it into 5 equal amounts. But as you can see, the gentleman there, that's the life jacket you get on, so obviously they are safety cautious. And yeah, so for 40 quid you can have an hour on one of these boats, or if you pay £30 get half an hour, so you may as well pay the 40 quid and have an hour's worth. But yeah, they're really simple to drive. You've got your forward and reverse and your steer. You can't really go wrong with it as long as you adhere to the rules of the river and what the guide tells you. You can't go wrong whatsoever. But they have plenty of boats, and when we've been, they've always had plenty available. Obviously there's people only spend an hour on them, and when you come back they top it up with petrol, I believe, and then just make sure everything's safe before you get on. And then you just head all the way along there under that bridge, keep going past where you could get on the other city cruise ships, and then round under that bridge I mentioned before. But it's a lovely day out for the family, so I would recommend getting on one of these boats, having a little zoom around for an hour or half an hour, whichever you want. But obviously cost wise, for an extra tenner, if there's 5 of you, you may as well have an hour on the River Ouse, whatever it's pronounced. So yeah, it's great. So I've made my way from the boats, and now I'm outside at the Grand Opera House, which was built in 1868. Used to be a corn exchange and a warehouse before it changed into this beautiful building, and the Opera House you can see now. But as you walk around York, you can see some beautiful architecture. There's just so much history steeped here, and it's just a great place to explore. If you've been here, let us know in the comments of what the best attraction is for you, what you thought of the 20 quid to get in the Minster. Obviously it's for a year, but the Minster costs around £30,000 to run every single year, so they need to make the money somehow. But it's got some beautiful attractions and great architecture, as you can see here and around as you walk around. I'd just like to thank you all for watching this video. If you've liked it, hit that like button, let us know in the comments what you thought, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. So take care of yourself, and bye bye.